The importance of algae is that without algae there won't be any food. But if too much algae, that will be a problem. So that is why this algae is supposed to play a very important role or very crucial role in aquaculture ecosystem, acting as the foundation of food chain. For most of the fish living in a pond, the main food source will be the algae. So these algae are providing food for many types of fishes and also for prawns. And in addition to that, they have several other ecological and nutritional significance also. So here we have a discussion of what are the important significance or what are the important roles played by algae in aquaculture. So one important thing is that algae will be acting as a primary producer. What is a producer? You have been studying botany in what is a producer? Which animals are, which organisms are called as producer? Producer, consumer, etc. and decomposer. You have been studying it for some time. Plants are producer because they are capable of producing food by photosynthesis. So in the case of aquacultural pond, the main producers are actually the algae. So that is an important function of algae. There are no plants or other types of trees in an aquacultural pond. The mainly algae are living in the aquacultural pond, but because of the large quantity of this algae, they are producing a lot of food. So they play a very important role in aquacultural, then they are the primary producers. So algae form the base of the food chain. They are at the lowest level of the food chain in an aquatic system by converting sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. That is our main function. Here you can find that. So this is an algal bloom, and this kind of algal bloom can create a lot of problems in aquacultural pond, about which we will be studying. They produce oxygen during the time of photosynthesis, and that oxygen is very important for the survival of the fish, crustaceans and other aquatic organisms. That means if in a aquacultural pond there is very little oxygen, that means the photosynthetic activity will be very low, and there won't be sufficient food for the fish and other organisms. So that is also one important function. By producing oxygen, they are also improving the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water. So that is another function. So organic matter generated by the algae serve as a direct or indirect food source. As I told you, acting as a food source of food. That is one of the important function of the algae. Second function is that they also produce oxygen. So producing oxygen and acting as a food source are two important functions of the algae, supporting the growth and development of most of the fishes living in an aquatic ecosystem. So here you can find an overgrowth of algae. This overgrowth of algae is known as algal bloom, and that is not good for a pond. I will tell you what are the problems of algal bloom. So this is also how much thick this algae can form. This kind of harmful algae can almost destroy an aquacultural pond and kill most of the fishes in that. Now, second benefit of algae is that there will be some nutritional benefits, and they act as a live feed for larvae. So for most of the fish larvae, they need microalgae such as chlorella, nanochloropsis and isochrysis. These are some of the commonly available algae like chlorella, and they are used as food source by larvae of most of the fish, shrimp and molluscans. So acting as a live food source for larvae is an important function, and they will be containing sufficient quantity of protein, lipid, vitamins and pigments, and they also promote the growth. So these algae are rich in proteins, vitamins and vitamins. So that's one important advantage of algae. And in addition, algae are also rich in polyunsaturated fatty acid. It's a kind of fat. And this fatty acid, especially this omega-3 and omega-6, are very crucial for the development of larvae. This omega-3 and omega-6 are also utilized by human beings also. So natural feed for herbivorous fish and molluscans. So there are a lot of fish which are primarily consuming plants, and such fish are known as herbivorous fish, and this algae will be acting as a source of food for such fish, and also for the organism like molluscan. They will be scraping this algae from the rocks and other surfaces and feeding on that. Many herbivorous and filter feeding aquatic organisms such as tilapia, carp and bivalve consume algae directly. So here you can find that the other than fish, molluscans like apple, snail, etc., they will be also consuming a lot of algae. Then another importance is the water quality management. Regarding the water quality management, as earlier we have seen that there are two important functions for algae. One function is acting as a food source. Second function is to provide oxygen. So here you can see that third function, that is water quality management, that is by oxygenation, because algae, by performing photosynthesis, they will be releasing a lot of oxygen into the water during the daylight hours. So during the daytime, the algae will be releasing oxygen, and that oxygen will be increasing the oxygen level in the water, and that oxygen will be available to the fish, helping maintain dissolved oxygen levels in the aquaculture. So if algae is less, dissolved oxygen may be less. Then waste recycling. Algae absorb the excess nutrients like ammonia, nitrate and phosphate, and preventing the eutrophication and maintaining water quality. Here earlier you can see that this kind of situation is known as algal bloom, otherwise known as a eutrophication, too much algae. When too much algae is there, but the problem is that this algae will be dying after a period of time, and death of this algae will be leading to decomposition of the large quantity of algae, and that makes the water looks very black or dark brown, and that will also take whatever oxygen which are present in the water, so that the oxygen availability in the water will be reduced, so that fish may not be getting sufficient oxygen and they will die. So and this situation is known as a eutrophication. So that is another importance, is that for the water quality management, by doing photosynthesis, by releasing oxygen, algae is playing an important role. Then they are also important in waste recycling, especially ammonia nitrate. This kind of ammonia nitrate and phosphates are actually released by the fish during their excreta. Ammonia nitrates and phosphates will be there. They can be converted. They are a good source for algae, but too much amount of this algae too much amount of ammonia or nitrate in the algae will be promoting overgrowth of algae. Then algal biofilters. In an integrated algal aquaculture system, algae can act as a natural biofilter, reducing the need for artificial filtration system. So that is another advantage. Here we are using artificial filter. That is why the water remains clear. But in a natural pond, like the pond that we have constructed, or in any aquacultural pond, sufficient quantity of algae can act as a biofilter, keeping the water free of other kinds of harmful material. So that is also another advantage. Then coming to the fourth one, that is the enhancing the aquatic habitat. One is shade and shelter. Microalgae like seaweeds provide shade and serve as habitats structures for juvenile fish and invertebrates. Here you can see that by having a coating like this. So what happens is that they will be giving shade for the fish, so that direct sunlight may not be coming to the fish and won't be causing any harm for the fish. So that is also another shade, improving the shade as well as shelter, providing shelter for juvenile fish, that is young fish, as well as small invertebrates. Then we have substrate for biofilms. Algae can promote growth of biofilms, which offer additional nutrition to the aquatic organism. So that is this kind of algae can improve the formation of biofilms, and that will be also leading to the better development of aquatic organism. Then coming to the fifth one, that is the economic importance in aquaculture. Here you can find that the large cultivation of seaweed, microalgae such as Gracilaria, Euchemia and Laminaria are formed extensively for their high commercial value. I will show you the Gracilaria. Gracilaria is a small kind of algae. See, this kind of algae are known as a Gracilaria. Okay, so these kind of macro, not micro, macro algae, the bigger algae, and Euchemia and Laminaria are farmed extensively for their high commercial value, and this kind of algae are utilized in many other area. So here you can see that this is known as a red algae. This red algae is used for as a food by human being and as well as for the shellfish. So especially if you go to the Japan, the Japanese people are very famous in utilizing this algae. They prepare a lot of curries using algae. So they consume algae, especially this type of macroalgae. Macroalgae like Gracilaria are actually utilized by Japanese people for in their life. So that is another advantage. Then they are used as food additives and nutritional supplements and pharmaceutical application. So that is for the development of many drugs, many medicines. Algae are extensively used by pharmaceutical industry. So seaweed cultivation can be integrated with the fish and shrimp farming to enhance productivity and reduce environmental impact. So one advantage is that if you are cultivating seaweed with the fish or a shrimp, that will be we will be able to utilize the waste material from one in another area, so that both seaweeds as well as the fish will be producing in larger quantity. Another advantage is algal biomass for feed. Algae derived from feed ingredient like spirulina, chlorella, and I will show you the picture of spirulina. See, this is the spirulina. It has a lot of benefits for spirulina. You can see that. See, this kind of algae known as spirulina. They are immune booster, antioxidant, improves digestive system, balance body pH level. So, eating this kind of algae are very good. So that is why people are now very concerned, very much aware of this algae, importance of algae. So algal biomass, algae-derived feed ingredients like spirulina and chlorella are used as dietary supplements for cultured species, improving their growth rate, immunity, and pigmentation. So if we are giving this kind of food, this kind of spirulina-rich food to the fish, they will be growing faster and they will be also increasing their immunity. Then the disease prevention and immune boosting. Then certain algae contain bioactive subcompounds like carotenoids, polysaccharides and antioxidants. So many algae will be there, and that enhance or increase the immunity of aquatic organism and reduce susceptibility. That is, when fish are feeding on natural food like algae, their immunity will be higher. They will be more strong against, more strong to defend against disease. So that is another advantage of algae. They are helpful in disease prevention and also increase the immunity of the fish against many of the common diseases. Algae extracts are used to prepare probiotics and immunostimulants in aquaculture. So these are also other benefits of algae. They can act as a probiotics and also immunostimulant. Then we have the environmental impact. One is carbon sequestration. Algae absorbs carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, mitigating the carbon footprint of the aquaculture lab. So that is also an advantage of algae. This carbon, that is reducing the amount of carbon dioxide. So too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere can act as a blanket, preventing the return of warm hot air from the earth. So if warm air from the earth is not allowed to go back to the atmosphere, that will be increasing the temperature of the air. So this is what is happening when too much carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. So if there is algae, this algae can utilize carbon dioxide, and that can prevent the formation of carbon dioxide layer in the upper atmosphere. Then integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, IMTA. In IMTA system, algae like seaweeds are co-cultured with the fish and shrimp. There is in our last class we have studied about the integrated fish farming. A similar kind of approach is also available here. In either we can cultivate algae with the fish or algae with the shrimp, and that will be increasing the productivity of both groups. Then algae in hatchery operation. Microalgae are indispensable in hatchery for feeding larvae, juvenile stage species like prawns, oyster and clams. For most of the young ones, they need smaller algae, and the smaller algae are very important, and they can act as a food source for many of the common cultured species. Algae also help maintain optimal water condition in hatchery tanks, ensuring higher survival and growth rate. Then finally, to the end, the examples of algal applications in aquaculture. One is seaweed farming, microalgae in shrimp farming, and biofloc system. So cultivation of seaweeds like Gracilaria and Capophycus can be done along with the fish farming. So that is one advantage. Algae can be associated with the traditional aquaculture, and that can improve their and they will be able to improve the quality of both organisms. Then microalgae in shrimp farming, Tetraselmis and Ketoceros are essential in the shrimp hatcheries. So these are smaller type of algae. This kind of smaller algae can help the quality of the water in a rich way. So this is an idea regarding what are the various okay. So this is towards the end, and finally in the conclusion we can find that importance of algae in aquaculture lies in the multi-facet role. One, act as a food source. Second, act as medicines. That can also act as a oxygen producer. These are the three important functions for which people are using: food source, oxygen producer, and also helping in nutrient recycle, etc. Their use not only improves the productivity and sustainability of aquaculture system, but also mitigate means reduce the environmental impact. Promoting alga-based technology, like algal technology or there are different types are there, and can significantly enhance the efficiency as well as ecological balance of aquaculture all over the world. So this will give you an idea of how algal is affecting the life of plants and animals in an aquacultural pond.